Storm Track First Forecast, sponsored by Gary County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Beautiful last couple of days. Very warm weather earlier today, but if you've been outside at all this evening, you know how much cooler it's getting. The front has passed on through. Clouds are still pretty absent across the sky. We stay mainly clear tonight. But look how much cooler it will be as we fall through the 50s, into the 40s and upper 30s. With sunshine still, mostly sunny in the morning, but definitely a chill in the air. How much cooler will be throughout the daytime tomorrow and how long it will last. All of that coming up. Fox 43 News at 9 starts now.
Now at 9, details surrounding the coronavirus are changing by the hour, so policies have to adjust as well.
People need to come and get their care.
We talked to Stormont Vail's head of the hospital to see what changes you can expect moving forward. But first, Kansas surpassed 1,000 positive coronavirus tests across the state today. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Molly Pat. And we're tracking the outbreak across Kansas for you. So let's take a look and see the 57 of our 105 counties that have positive cases. The state's health department says the exact number of positive tests is at 1,046. 38 people in Kansas have died from the virus. Here in Northeast Kansas, Shawnee County is now up to 53 cases, and Coffee County has 36 positive cases. Lyon County has 26, and Riley County currently has 19. Several other counties in our viewing area have 5 or fewer cases. You can see how many cases each county has online. We have a breakdown county by county for you at fox43topeka.com. And tonight, a community is rallying around one Kansas man who is fighting for his life as he battles the coronavirus. Fox 43 News reporter Hannah Brandt is live tonight to give us a glimpse into what that looks like.
Yeah, well, Molly, for Evan Shermer, the virus came on strong and quick. Within just hours of walking into the emergency room, he was put on a ventilator. And now all his family and friends can do is wait and cheer him on from a distance. Keep on believing has become the motto of a community rallying around Evan Shermer as he battles the coronavirus.
He's 21 and in good health, and now he's on a ventilator. Whoa, it's surreal.
His dad, Rob, says his son is a sweet, funny kid with a passion for flying, and his fight is attracting support from all over. But all that support has to be done from a distance.
It was just heart-wrenching to not be there and hold his hand and, just tell him it was going to be fine.
That doesn't mean the support is any less strong, though.
They're such a beautiful family, so kind-hearted, which is why you're seeing such an incredible outpouring of love for the entire family.
They've been flooded with so much love and attention that they've asked family friend Danielle Smith to step in and help share their story.
Even though I know the doctors and nurses can't say to them, he's going to make it. They just can't, right? I feel like he is. And I know they feel the same way. There's just this feeling in my core because he's a fighter and they are good, strong, kind people.
And it's that community outpouring that's inspiring their hope and their belief that Evan will beat this.
It's the worst things like this that bring out the best in people. And that's what is just been a blessing to us and our whole family.
And they hope that what people understand from hearing about Evan is anyone can get this virus. Evan is young and healthy, and he did everything he was supposed to do in terms of social distancing. So if you want to support the family, the best thing you can do, they say, is stay home. From the studio, Hannah Brandt. Molly, back to you.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Definitely hard to hear from their family, so we are thinking about them and anybody else that's going through this as well. Now, we are getting new information and recommendations by the hour now about the coronavirus, and because of that, policies at local hospitals have to adjust as well. Today, I met with CEO Dr. Ktmj, and you can see he's wearing a mask there, and he's about to take it off. Now, the only reason that he's taking it off is for interview reasons, just so that we could hear him a little bit better today. All staff, visitors, and patients going into any Stormont Vail facility are required to wear a mask. We wore one when we interviewed him today as well. Now, they are requiring this because of recommendations from the CDC, and some other changes are coming as well. Visitors are no longer allowed in any facility, though there are a few exceptions. A mom having a baby, there can be one visitor, so mom, baby, plus one other person. In the NICU, there can be one visitor, but it strictly has to either be the mother or father. There's only one visitor per patient allowed to be in the operating waiting room. And then in the pediatrics floor, patients under 17 years old are only allowed one visitor. And no visitors across the entire board younger than 18 years old are allowed. But here's what Dr. Ktmj says he wants you to know about some other treatments that are going on at the hospital as well.
We had a gentleman that stayed home a little longer than he maybe should have for a heart attack. People need to come and get their care when they need it for the emergencies and those ongoing courses of treatment that need to be continued. We have the resources to take care of them.
Yeah, so nothing's changed there. If you have an emergency, go to the hospital. Dr. Ktmj says if you don't have a mask when you go, use a scarf, bandana, just something to cover your mouth and nose. But are you putting on a mask correctly? I know it seems obvious, but the World Health Organization wants to make sure that you are using them as effectively as possible. First, officials say make sure you wash your hands before wearing any facial covering. Then make sure that your mask covers both your nose and your mouth with no gaps between your face and the mask. Avoid touching the mask while you're using it, and if you do touch it, wash your hands immediately. Now let's talk about when you take the mask off. Health officials say don't touch the front of the mask, remove it from behind, and then throw it in a trash can. But make sure that that trash can has a cover as well. Also, wash your hands once you take that mask off as well. And real quickly, let's go over the symptoms of coronavirus. Once again, the CDC says you'll likely have a fever, coughing, and shortness of breath. And these symptoms can appear anywhere from 2 to 14 days after being exposed to the virus. In severe cases, people will have difficulty breathing, persistent chest pains, and blue lips or face coloring. So those are the symptoms, but what happens when coronavirus takes a toll on your body? Sheree Honeycutt tells us what that looks like.
It's a microscopic gray orb with red receptors. Coronavirus, or COVID-19, is something we've all learned about quickly. But what does it actually do when it gets in your lungs?
It's an outcropping of your cell. It's something that the virus can attach to so that it can then infect the cell. We think that those receptors are on your respiratory system, but also in your GI tract, in your heart, and in your kidneys.
This is 3D imaging of a man who died of coronavirus, taken at the George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C. Dr. Dina Hawkinson says the inflammatory cells replicate. It creates a coating in your lungs, making it hard to breathe. You can see this in an animation from the New York Times.
That inflammation that includes cells but also chemicals really creates that layer where it is difficult for the gas exchange. It's difficult for you to get the oxygen you breathe into the blood system so that it can get to the rest of your body.
Dr. Dana Hawkinson says it's too early to fully understand the virus. However, doctors are looking at SARS, MERS, and learning more every day.
We are still continuing to look every day to try and figure out the answers to these questions, to try and figure out therapeutics to get people better, and the best way for them to come through this infection as best as possible.
And tonight over on KSNT News at 10, we'll actually tell you about a treatment study that's taking place at Stormont Vail. They already have 2 patients registered in it, so we'll dive a little bit deeper into what that will look like. And coronavirus is also making it hard to start the building process for the new Topeka Family Park. A month ago, Shawnee County Commissioners selected a vendor to put together the master plan for what the family park will look like. The park will be built across the parking lot from the Midwest Health Aquatic Center. That's in southwest Topeka. Now the process to build the master plan has come to a halt, though, because of stay-at-home orders and social distancing. District 3 Shawnee County Commissioner Aaron Mays says they can't do much planning right now because a lot of the process is public engagement. However, he says the park will still be built.
I don't think I would say that things are going to stop progressing. We are going to move forward with putting together a master plan, but because of the COVID-19, things are just going to take a little bit longer.
He says things are delayed for just a couple of months. The process to getting the master plan finished and starting construction will start once the virus has slowed down. And in the light of the continued outbreak, schools are reconsidering some of their programs. After today, Topeka Public School kids will no longer get lunch delivered to them. On Monday, the district announced they will stop lunch deliveries after providing meals for kids since in-person classes were canceled. Fox 43 News reporter Mackenzie Davis talked to the superintendent to understand why this change is being made.
It's important to note the lunch program won't be stopping, but just deliveries for a little while. Now, starting Monday, parents can still come up to drop-off locations like this one here at Ross Elementary School and pick up their meals. But delivery, again, is changing. It's temporarily coming to a stop because Kansas will soon see a peak in coronavirus cases. Today was the last day kids would receive these meals through delivery. Topeka Public Schools Superintendent Tiffany Anderson says the halt is necessary to do their part in slowing the spread of the virus in Kansas and Topeka. Now, with these deliveries, more than 150 people were working in making and distributing the lunches that were given to different households throughout the school district. Now they can do their part to keep everyone as safe as possible. Churches even helping with the changes.
The difference is there are far fewer hands that will be touching the lunch. Many of those lunches will already be pre-packaged. And the church has designated people, a small number of designated people that will sort those.
She also says they will reevaluate the delivery options after the peak season. Now, what's really important to remember is that food is still going to be available to kids. The district has partnered with Harvesters and the Salvation Army to provide meals for students during this time. On Monday, their services will now be extended to still provide meals. The school district will help with funding the food. A few porch visits will still happen for high-risk families here in Topeka, just not all families. In Southeast Topeka, Mackenzie Davis, Fox 43 News.
Now we know that details surrounding the coronavirus is obviously changing by the hour, so we want to make it easy for you to follow along whenever you'd like. Just go to fox43topeka.com/coronavirus. There you'll find all of our coronavirus coverage that we've been doing over the last few weeks, and you can also download our mobile app while you're there.
With a clear sky, we have already a lot of cooling going on. The northerly winds came in earlier today, but it took a little bit longer after the initial switch to the north breeze before the colder air started moving in. Temperatures surged today. Most of the area was in the upper 80s at one point. It's now 52 at Marysville and Hiawatha, down to 58 at Holton, already down to 60 at Topeka, and low to mid 60s to the south. And this is just in about the last 4.5–5 hours that temperatures have fallen in many areas 20 to 25 degrees from where they were earlier today. 16-mile-per-hour north winds at Topeka. The winds are starting to let up to the north, and the temperatures are falling even more quickly as the winds die down. But we will see temperatures fall through the 50s into the 40s and possibly some upper 30s early tomorrow morning. That's what we expect to see for a low, about 39 degrees. Cool start to the day. How much of the wind returns during the day tomorrow? I've got to look at that coming up.
Kansas lawmakers are going against what Governor Kelly has restricted on religious gatherings. Coming up next, what lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are saying about the move is coming up next.
You're watching Fox 43 News at 9 with Molly Pat, Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller, and Pete Francis with sports.
Lawmakers have reversed an executive order by the governor that restricted church gatherings to 10 people or less. Fox 43 News Capitol Bureau reporter Al Gartner shows us what that could mean leading into Easter Sunday.
The Legislative Coordinating Council voted to strike down Governor Kelly's order, saying it was a clear example of government overreach. The group, consisting of 5 Republican and 2 Democratic legislative leaders, voted along party lines. On Tuesday, the governor announced the executive order after health officials pinpointed 3 of the large clusters of coronavirus in the state are linked to church events. But Republicans argued that people are already adapting and the mandate wasn't necessary.
Most of them are already planning to stay home and pray together and watch services online. They just felt like it was a violation of their constitutional rights to have the government tell them that they cannot participate in a church service.
But Democrats on the council say the vote was political and potentially dangerous.
The churches have responded great. I think the LCC has made a big mistake today, and unfortunately, even if just one large gathering happens because the ban on 10 or more is gone, that could cause more people to die, and it's unfortunate.
Lawmakers on both sides did urge Kansans to listen to health officials and stay away from large gatherings and celebrate religious events at home. Reporting at the Capitol, I'm Alec Gartner.
Meanwhile, 2 organizations are teaming up to make a difference in the community during this hard time. How they're doing their part to help people who are struggling financially is coming up next.
Tonight, temperatures dropping all the way back down into the upper 30s. A chilly and mostly sunny sky through the daytime tomorrow. What you see on there are these high thin clouds that should be coming through. So that'll be partly cloudy, but overall the breezy and cool nature of the day is what you'll notice as we top out into the upper 50s. How long that cool air will be with us coming up.
Now, your storm track weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller.
Much cooler weather throughout the area tonight behind a cold front that moved through during the day today. The winds will let up and then turn around and increase tomorrow, especially by midday and afternoon. Breezy weather returns and a cool day, mostly sunny. It's still rather chilly Friday, especially early in the morning. Could start off with some frost and then milder temperatures toward the afternoon. Showers, though, move back in over the weekend and then on into Sunday. That'll be our most likely window of time for rain Saturday night and Sunday. If the precipitation lingers into Sunday night, it would be cold enough for some of that to mix with rain or snow. I'll have to keep an eye on that, but other than that, it's looking like mainly just a rain chance as we head into the weekend. Generally, clear sky now, Emporia, as well as at Manhattan. It's also still kind of breezy, especially over the central and southern counties where the wind is still out of the north at 16 miles per hour in Topeka. Certainly feels different. It's almost like the air conditioner kicked on late today as hot weather early in the day. Now we're down to 60 already after hitting a high of 88. That tied the record set back in 1905. That was 24 degrees above average as well. It was actually chilly this morning at 48, made it all the way to 88 degrees. That's a huge change ahead of the cold front, and now a big change coming in behind it with 40s and 50s over Nebraska, 50s, 60s, 70s across Kansas as that warmer air continues to be pushed out. And it's going to stay away for a little while as cooler air dominates the next few days. 52 at Marysville, 61 at Manhattan, 65 for Linden, as well as at Emporia. Northerly breezes anywhere from 6 or 8 miles per hour north to about 15 to 22 miles per hour central and south. The gradual trend will be for lower wind speeds tonight, and that allows temperatures to fall into the 30s and low 40s. I think we'll bottom out at about 39 or so in many spots. But notice by midday tomorrow, we're in the low to mid 50s, and we don't climb much more than that. Maybe up to about 58 for a peak temperature. Could hit 60 over the southern counties for your high tomorrow. And then even colder, could see some upper 20s and low 30s for Friday morning with areas of frost. And then we start to rebound into the 50s, maybe pushing close to 60 in spots by Friday afternoon. Things are pretty quiet locally. You've got to go to the east. The same system, which has been dropping in out of Canada, has produced several rounds of thunderstorms over the eastern portions of the Midwest. That continues to move away. In the middle of the country, dominated by generally clear sky. Will stay clear tonight. Into the morning tomorrow, maybe a couple of clouds here and there, but high thin clouds. We'll head on into Friday, still just some passing clouds, otherwise sunny to partly cloudy, followed by our next rain chance starting to develop across the region as we head in toward the weekend. Tonight, clear and 39 degrees. We're back up tomorrow just to 58 with wind out of the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And then staying cool Friday, high about 60. There's our rain chance over the weekend if it lingers into Sunday night, maybe mixes with some snow as we drop all the way down to 31 Monday morning. And then 40s and low 50s into early next week and continued chilly weather into the middle of next week as well. Beautiful sunrise, though, this morning from Sandy Erickson, as well as a view there through some of the smoky sky that was still in place early on today from Chris Cushing at Tecumseh and some of the range burning going on. Beautiful scene out there in the Flint Hills at Lake Wabunsee from Dennis Richter.
Well, Capital Federal is teaming up with the group Community Action to help people with financial issues during the coronavirus. CapFed donated their building on Wanamaker to the group so that they can use it. People who are looking for financial help can use the drive-through of the building and talk to a worker from the safety of their car. The executive director for Community Action says that this will allow them to help people in their time of need, especially for those who were laid off because of the coronavirus.
These measures are to protect the staff of the facility and the guests in our enclosed office suites and thereby our entire community.
In order to receive help from the group, you do have to call ahead, and we've posted that information for you on our website. Just go to fox43topeka.com. Well, some dentists are making it easier for people in Northeast Kansas to get dental care through all this. We'll see how they're taking their services on the road to Brighten Smiles in Topeka. When you think of essential workers, you might think of doctors, nurses, and even grocery store clerks. But other health facilities are in high need as well, including dentistry. A local dentist is finding a way to continue giving care despite the coronavirus pandemic. Covenant Family Dental Care is a mobile service. It's a full-service dentist office in a trailer that travels across northeast Kansas. To practice social distancing, the facility is only traveling to a few locations across Topeka right now, but the dentists say staying open is important even during these difficult times.
Am I putting myself at risk? Absolutely, I'm putting myself at risk, but at the same time, I'm also taking extra precautions to make sure that I can stay healthy and still be available to the patient population.
And for more information on how you can make it to an appointment, visit our website at fox43topeka.com. But let's check in with Matt one more time for a final check at the weather.
Yeah, some big changes, dropping down to 39 degrees tonight. The breezes will actually let up, pick back up out of the northwest tomorrow, 15 to 25 with a high of 58. It'll be a little bit chillier for Friday morning in the low 30s with a high near 60. And that rain chance over the weekend, it is primarily a rain chance. Obviously, eyes probably get drawn to the word PM snow there on Sunday. That is only if the precipitation lingers into Sunday night. And then we stay chilly and possibly another chance for rain or snow into the middle portion of next week as well.
All right, well, that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching Fox 43 News at 9.